I'm going to try something new today. It just sounds good. We all love fajitas and we all love meatloaf. So I'm going to try to make a fajita meatloaf, and I'm going to make it Weight Watchers friendly. So to start with, I've got 95% fat, 95% fat-free hamburger. I had some onions, but I didn't have quite enough onions, so I'm going to go ahead and add some onion to my mix as well. And I'm going to put in some garlic. We all love garlic. And then I'm going to put in some CC cilantro because it adds a little spice to it. And then the recipe that I usually use calls for a third of a cup of breadcrumbs. I use these gluten-free ones, and they work really good. So, and they're the spices are 0 points. The hamburger's 0 points. This is a 1/3 cup is 3 points. Let me see. Yeah, 3 points, but that's going to be for the whole meatloaf, which is not going to be very much. Okay, then to make it spicy, I'm going to go ahead and take some jalapenos, and I've cut these in half. I've cut these in half already, but I wanted to show you how to clean them safely. So once you've cut them in half, then take a spoon, and you're going to want to scrape out. You're going to want to grab it and scrape out the membranes and the seeds. It's the membranes that's hot, not the seeds. So if you want to leave it a little hotter, go ahead and leave some membranes in there. But you'll want to use a spoon, not your fingers. It's got a little jalapeno aroma in my throat. Because that way if you go to scratch your eye or something, you won't have the hot juice from the jalapeno on there. Now, I am leaving a little bit of membranes because we like it a little spicy. And jalapenos haven't been that spicy lately. I've got about 2 pounds of meat in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So a nice way to cut any peppers is open them up like this, and then just go ahead and slice down and make little. They're almost like julienne strips. And if it's too spicy for you, you've gotten too much of the jalapeno aroma, keep a vanilla candle or vanilla air freshener in your kitchen, because vanilla will take the odor away where the other flavors just mask it. So if you ever get to where, too much onion, there's a couple Thai chilies that are really kind of dangerous. And then cut, in this case, this is jalapeno, so you're going to cut it in the size pieces you want. These jalapenos, what part of gave me the idea to make this is that we had some jalapenos that were starting to go bad. I had forgotten that we had bought some to stuff, and we've been using the jalapenos out of the garden. So I've got some nice bell peppers here. So you're going to cut the top off. Sometimes the tip will come out like that. And then it has like this. And you just grab this and twist it, and all the seeds will come out. You want to go ahead and reach in here and take these few membranes out. And then I usually cut it in half and cut it a little off center so you can get this little tiny piece there. Just dispose of that. So then you're going to want to go ahead and rinse those. And if there's any extra membrane, go ahead and pull that out if you'd like. And again, we're just going to kind of make strips out of this. Large julienne pieces, if you want to call them that. Oops. And I'm going to leave these larger also, but remember they're going into meatloaf, not fajitas. So I'm going to cut these a little bit bigger than you might normally, because I do want to have a little bit of the texture in the meatloaf, because I want to extra taste those. Like I said, I'm doing a fajita meatloaf, and so I don't want just the flavor to come through. I want also the texture and the visual of the fajita meatloaf. So we've got just about everything in here. We still need to put the egg, and we still need to put, normally, many of you guys have watched my sweet pepper jalapeno video of meatloaf. That's really good. So if you use a potato masher, I think it It's easier to smash up the meat. I don't think I use a potato masher. I think I use this potato masher for a lot of things. Don't use it very much for potatoes. So most of us only make mashed potatoes during Thanksgiving and Christmas. So this gets your potato masher out of that drawer some other time. Okay, so we got this all kind of mixed up here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use 2 eggs because I put in 2 pounds of meat here and I've got a lot of bulk from the peppers, okay? And so remember that you want to crack your egg into something other than what you're putting it in. So if you accidentally get shell in there, you can pull it out. We'll go ahead and put that one in. And you want to wash your hands after handling eggs, even though they're supposed to all be sanitized and clean and stuff. It's just better because they might not have gotten quite clean enough. When I was a kid, we used to see times even feathers on it. We don't see that so much anymore. But if you buy them from a fresh farm, you might see a little poop or feathers on there. So it's just always a good idea to go ahead and wash your hands after doing it. Now, instead of adding the sweet pepper jalapeno sauce that I normally do, or if you're used to making meatloaf, you probably add tomato sauce. I'm going to add some enchilada sauce. So I'm going to put just a little bit of water in my can, rinse it out, and put that in here too. I think this is going to be really good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get my loaf pan, and I'm just going to spray it with some, you can use Pam. I have a olive oil one. Spray your pan there. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in. Ooh, I hope it's going to fit. I usually use only 1.5 pounds of meat. I don't know what I was thinking when I decided to. This is actually, I think, a 2 1/4 pound. It's a little over 2 pound package that I had. I didn't think about the size of my container. I think it's going to be okay. So traditionally, people make the meatloaf lower on the end and higher in the middle. I try to make mine kind of as flat as possible because we like to eat meatloaf sandwiches, and that way it's so this recipe has with a can of enchilada sauce, this particular brand that I used, so I've got 8 points, 8 Weight Watchers points for this whole meatloaf. So we're going to go ahead and cook it, and it's going to be almost pointless because 2, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to get 12 to 13 servings out of here. So if you've got 8 points for this, I mean, you're going to, it's you know what, 1/2 point, 3/4 point per serving. I'm hoping this is going to come out really good. I think it is. So we'll come back when it comes out of the oven. Thank you. So we made this fajita meatloaf, and the night it came out, it was a little loose. It wasn't binding, it stuck together as well as we liked. So I'm going to put an adjusted recipe on there. So I was reheating it tonight, and it actually looks like it might stay together. But hot. It has the flavors of you can taste the peppers and the meat and the onions and a little bit of that enchiladas. It doesn't taste as much like fajitas as I was hoping, but fajitas are also not an enchilada sauce. So it's really good. So we're going to go ahead and make it into kind of like sloppy joes since it didn't stick together as well as I'd like. So I think I'm going to go ahead and try to slice this. It looks like it might stay together. Oh no, it's not going to.
Okay.
So this isn't as wet as a sloppy joe, but you can see the peppers in here, the onions, the meat, and this has really good, really good flavor. I'm going to go ahead and have a bite like this. It's super hot. I think that's better than a sloppy Joe. So this was an experiment, and I'm going to put an adjusted recipe up that I think will make it so it will actually slice like meatloaf. But if it gets a little loose, makes fantastic sloppy joes. I'm really pleased with this experiment. Hope you guys have as much fun and enjoy eating it as I'm going to, and share the wonder about us. And thank you for subscribing and being a friend.